And of course, we're starting here in Nigeria on our newspaper review. Let's share with you what happens or what's on this Nigerian newspapers this morning. Very, very interesting ones that you can see there. It says here, death toll in Lagos building collapse rises to 5. You remember yesterday we spoke with Bernard Akede, who of course, shared his thoughts on the incident. A really sad one there. It says as the commissioner resigns after multiple collapses. It's trust. Can we trust her as a worthy partner for Nigeria and Africa? And that's with regards Liz Truss, Britain's new prime minister. Of course, that happened yesterday. Also on this Nigeria, Kuje jailbreak 65 armed security men on duty the day of the attack, says Rauf Aregbesola. And also 31 years after, Abia gets first flyover. Wike Lord Zikbazu. Federal government bows to pressure, suspends 5% telecom tax. I think those are the stories that we can share this morning on This Nigeria.
All right, now let's head over to our next paper this morning. And we'll be moving from Nigeria to still in Nigeria, looking at the News Direct. On the front page of the News Direct newspaper, the big story there says APC, PDP, battle over Tinubu's visit to Jonathan. That's the big story. APC PDP battle over Tinubu's visit to Jonathan. I also have sub stories here as parties contend over performance profile. Opposition rattled in panic, says the APC. We will focus on issues, not trading personal insults, according to campaign council. And at the top of the paper, trade expert Ayola seeks deeper Poland-Nigeria ties. After public outrage, federal government finally suspends proposed 5% duty on phone calls and data. I'm smiling reading that headline. We're resolute to get what public universities need from federal government, according to ASU. And at the bottom of the paper, kidnappers demand 90 million naira for Ondo victims. This was quite a scary story, Osalge, to see that they attended burial and then whilst at the burial,
while they were there.
Yeah, I think it was whilst they were at the burial, but they attended the burial, right? And then they were whisked away for ransom. So now it's people will be scared to attend events. You'll be scared to mourn your loved ones, to put them in the ground, to go and celebrate weddings, because you could be going from one celebration or from one heartbreaking scenario into another. It's just quite sad.
It's really, really heartbreaking.
2023, CAN releases guidelines for voting presidential candidates and others. It'll be interesting to see what these guidelines are. The details of that on the Nigerian News Direct. And the final story, police intercept 185 parcels of cannabis in Katsina, neutralized 2 bandits. This story reminds me of one I saw recently where the police went to arrest a lady because they heard that she had planted, I think cannabis, she had plants in her house. So the NDLEA went and arrested her, saying that she committed a crime for planting these in her house. And she said she planted them for medicinal reasons.
I think I saw this a couple of days ago, isn't it? Yeah, I did see that story.
All right, that's all that we have this morning on Nigerian News Direct.
All right, moving away from Nigeria, let's go to Zimbabwe and see what Newsday has for us. Always very brief stories. It says here, terrified teachers report for duty. And I'll share with you, it says at least 70% of teachers who reported for duty yesterday when schools opened for the 3rd term did so out of fear of suspension or having their salaries docked. Teacher unions claimed. Teachers have previously gone on periodic strikes to protest poor salaries, and government has responded by employing the no work, no pay principle and also going to the extent of suspending the absentee educators. The Educators Union of Zimbabwe Secretary General told Newsday that their survey revealed that the teachers were suffering in silence and reported for duty under protest. Really sad. But of course, the second story on Newsday this morning, prison staff fingered in Sikala poisoning. I shared a little bit about this yesterday. Job Sikala's aide, Freddie Masari Revu, has implicated the Chikurubi maximum security prison staff in the alleged poisoning of the incarcerated opposition Citizens Coalition for Change legislator on Saturday. And you can read more on that. It's a developing story. He, of course, was reported to be vomiting, and of course the prison authorities had to call his family to come in to assist. Well, those are the stories on Newsday this morning in Zimbabwe.
And now we wrap up the first half with the Sowetan newspaper in South Africa. On the front page of the Sowetan, we have wanted. Help please find these men. Pictures of men believed to have massacred 16 people at a Soweto tavern on page 2. This is, I don't know what it is with we've had quite a number of tavern deaths, and this is very sad, but the photographs are here, and we have their names: Keletso Letebele Rabasotho, Shidiso Moleko, Tebank Radikatara, and Shepiso Elliot Radebe. If you see any of these men, please report to the nearest police station to our South African audience. TV and reality film star in new telenovela Redemption and All-Star Affair. From head boy to Captain Yacht on page 7. Emma Zoweni tells his story through its cuisine. That sounds exciting. On page 12, box coach not worried on the back page. And the final story here, helping bunk adoption myths in black communities on page 13. Osage, I particularly like this story because that was my project topic. Basically talking about the critical analysis of child adoption laws. Yeah. And we're not yet, would you say that in Africa we've totally embraced we fully embrace the concept of adoption?
No, absolutely not. It will still take a really, really long time. I think adoption, surrogacy, all of that. I don't think we're there yet. And this is because of traditional, religious, parental. There's so much.
It's even easier for people to accept IVF than it is for, because they just feel at least you are carrying
exactly.
Your body. But the truth is, there are alternative means of having a child. Yes. You don't have to have the child through your body.
The Nigerian society hasn't gotten there yet. Women will still be castigated for not giving birth themselves. You still hear mother-in-laws or the extended family still saying, oh, you're not a complete woman. I'm sure there's still men in Nigeria today that would not allow for another woman to be a surrogate for their wives.
Well, it's starting to change. I did hear a friend who said I would give anything to have someone else carry my child rather than put my wife through that ordeal. And I was like, wait.
Yeah, I to be honest, I think I also fall in the same bracket. But it also really depends on who so I think it's in the same space of how much more that men need to be more understanding of the stress that pregnancy and the women go through, and be more supportive in that regard. So a man who really understands that he may not want you to go through all of that, maybe because of certain health challenges that the woman may have that will make it slightly more difficult for her, would always be open to stuff like that. But I just know that in the midst of all that conversation, it's a very, very tiny fraction of men or Nigerians who are open to things like that.
The conversation we will delve into deeper. We look forward to talking about this here on Breakfast Central. Adoption, surrogacy, alternative means of having children.